Hello everyone. I am back to give you your readings. We're going to start off with the sign of fire signs. As I said, I am giving you guys your bonus new moon in Sagittarius reading under your elemental sign. So for those of you that of fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this is your reading. So let's get right into it. So as I said, we have a new moon phase that is happening today. The new moon in itself represents new beginnings. So the new moon is about new starts are coming. And of course, it's about the new moon and Sagittarius. So happy new moon, Sagittarius. So it says luck is on your side. So I have pre-shuffled and I purposely pulled these out because this is what the energy is about today. And so now, fire signs, we are going to see what does this mean for you moving ahead. Okay. As well, I pulled out 3 cards from the astro deck because we are dealing here with an astro energy of the new moon. And as I mentioned, it's all about you, Sagittarius. But don't for those of also that is a fire sign, which we have Aries and Leo, just because it is that the new moon is in Sagittarius, it doesn't mean that you guys won't in some kind of way be influenced or impacted. No, not by a long shot. All signs will be impacted moving ahead, but it's just that everything is about energy. It's just that we are going to be kind of influenced, I would say, in some kind of way, in whatever area of our life. We're going to be influenced by this Sagittarius energy moving ahead starting from today. All right, so we're going to get into that. And then the second card that I pulled out, because the Sagittarius is ruled under the planet of Jupiter. And for those of you that are familiar with the planet Jupiter, we know what Jupiter all represents. It's about abundance as well as expansion. And then last, we know that Sagittarius falls in the 9th house on the chart. And what does that mean? It represents exploration. So we are going to tap into those 3 astrological energies. So instead of me picking out 6 cards, I've only picked out 3 cards from the tarot deck because I feel that the astrological cards that have come out, it's very self-explanatory and it's very straightforward. So I only picked out 3, and then after that I will clarify those cards as to what does that mean in terms of how it now kind of what it will mean moving forward. All right, so we're going to first tap into the first card, which is you, Sagittarius. We're going to see, or fire signs as a whole. Do bear in mind that this still is a general reading. This is just a reading for the collective of the fire signs, but it might be some of you Sagittarius that might find this particular part of the reading that will resonate. If you don't find this particular part of the reading resonating, then when we move over to the planet, maybe the energies coming in from the planet Jupiter might resonate with you more. And if that doesn't resonate, then you have another energy that it might, and that is the house in which the 9th house might somehow resonate with you. So you would know, take the parts that resonate with you, and in the parts that don't, it's okay, it's just not your reading for today. But also bear in mind, as I mentioned before, that we are still riding off from that solar eclipse that we had back in October, and it does have a 6-month window, which means that if you don't feel any shifts or any type of transformation at this time, you still have a couple of more months in which to see any type of change or transformation in whatever area of your life, but you would know how that would fit in. All right, so don't never assume or to claim anything that doesn't resonate at this time, because it can always resonate at a later time, as love and time is fluid. Energies move. All right, so let's get started. So first, we are going to tap first into understanding what the Sagittarius sign is all about as a collective. It means expansion. And so we're going to first see exactly more about what it means, okay? So when I says expansion, the Sagittarius energy here, it says Sagittarius has 2 imperatives: expand your perspective and humbly speak your truth. So let your perspective become versatile, flexible, and curious. Travel in the body or in the mind and explore a logical, philosophical, environmental, or metaphysical context for this situation. Imagine you are on a mountaintop. Look down at your life from 1,000 feet up. Now take it further, like the astronauts who look down on our spinning green and blue globe and see no borders between countries. You are a global citizen. Change your life to reflect this reality. Speak your truth. Remember the fairy tale, The Empress' New Clothes. As a pair of con artists arrive at the empress court, claiming to make beautiful garments. They say their creations are only visible to people of quality. Incompetent people can't see the clothes. No one in the empress court wants to admit they can't see the supposedly intricate garments, and the emperor wears his new clothes on parade. Only one honest Sagittarian style boy speaks up without rancor, states the obvious. The emperor is naked and breaks the spell. Ask what spell you need to break and speak up. So there you have it. So Sagittarius is indeed about, not only about expansion, but it's about truth. All right. So I pulled out a card that will represent what area. I asked what area will the fire sign see expansion. This can be expansion in any area of your life as well. That can mean that it could just be expansion within your own inner self. Okay. And the card that came out that will represent expansion was the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is of the water signs. It represents emotions. It represents even love of some kind. Now, when I picked this card out, I got two messages in terms of the aspects of what it can mean. So in one aspect, it could mean that some of you may see expansion or growth, or let's just say you might see a level up. You might see your relationship, or if you're dating, you might see your relationship or even your marriage, whatever relationship it is, you will see some type of level up. You will see some type of growth in that area, because again, the Queen of Cups is about love, is about emotions. So if you have had any type of stagnancy, if you had any type of pause, or things that wasn't quite maybe clear, now under this new moon, things are starting to look up for you guys in this area. Now, the other aspect of the message that I got from this as well, it could just be expansion within your own inner self. You have tapped into your own worth. You have realized what you need to do to see whatever area in your life to see growth in. So to me, it could also mean expansion in the inner work that you have put into yourself. So it could be for those that are in relationship, you might see expansion in. Again, it might not apply for all of you, but for some of you, it means that. And then maybe for the other part of you, it just might mean expansion in terms of seeing your growth, personal as well as spiritual growth. Okay, so take it as it will resonate. And then to clarify that, we came out with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is an energy of slow movement. So just like I said, if you was experiencing, let's just say back when we had the solar eclipse in October, or maybe right before that, if you was experiencing delays, you experiencing maybe a relationship that maybe was just took a break, or you didn't see it really moving up in the level that you wanted it to do, now it's actually going to do the reverse. Things is going to start to pick up. Okay, and then again, if this is something that you was working on within your own inner self, now things is going to start to move because you did the work internally. Now you're going to start to see how it's going to take shape and form to your external, if that makes sense. Okay, so that is what The expansion part of that astrological any represents under the Sagittarius. So again, take the part that resonates. And now if it didn't, maybe this second part will resonate with you. So now we are on to Jupiter, the planet of Jupiter. Jupiter represents abundance. Okay, so now the card that was pulled out to see what area of your life you would see abundance, we go to the Queen of Wands. And it's amazing, guys, because you got two queens that came out so far in this reading. Remember, you just got the Queen of Cups. Now, under abundance, you got the Queen of Wands. For me, I feel that I only got one message, and that is, again, to me, I felt that this meant that you guys have definitely done the inner work. This is almost like self-motivation. You put in whatever you needed to do. You went within to understand what was needed in order for you to see the life that you wanted. But to see growth, that means you have to start the inner working. So whatever it took that you had to do, you took that determination, you took that drive to make changes so that you can see the life that you want. Remember, we are the captain of the ship. We are the ones that have the control to change the narrative of our story and how we want our life to unfold, or the things that we want to attract. So if we want to attract abundance, that means we have to put in the work. And from what I can see, you guys have done that. You guys have exceeded, and you definitely have done the inner work, the internal, so that you can see now the external. So again, the Queen of Wands is someone of determination. You can see here she's holding her wand and she's like determined. She's like, I've had enough of all the stagnancy. I've had enough of things not going in the way that I want to. Now I'm going to stand in my power, because I know I have the power to change and shift the way in which I want my life. And so this is what came up under Jupiter's energy in terms of the abundance that you will see. And to clarify that, the King of Wands. It's amazing that both the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands came out to clarify, which means to me that it's not just a portion of you. To me, collectively, it looks like both energies, the masculine and the feminine energies, both have been working on yourself. Remember, in tarot, there is no specific gender. However, when you get cards like this, when you get a queen and a king, to me that signifies that the energy of the collective is really been putting in the work. Like, to me, that embraces like everyone as a whole. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might get readings where it might kind of somewhat lean toward the feminine energy or the masculine energy. To me, this represents the collective as a whole. Like, everyone has been putting in the end of work. So that is very good, and I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you fire signs. You are doing a great job. So if that part of this reading resonates, then keep up the good work. And now we're going to end out with your placement being in the 9th house, and that means exploration. And so when asked about what area that you guys have been exploring into and what expansion have this led you to wanting to explore even more, the card that came out was the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about seeking truth. It's also like a spiritual card, because you're tapping into your inner knowing again. So that inner knowing energy is coming up again with the High Priestess, which means and clarifies for me again, without having to clarify, this kind of summed it up very well. And you kind of ending out your reading with just showing that the High Priestess is that you have done the inner work. You sought what you needed to do. You went inside yourself, but as well, you didn't need no validation. You didn't need any type of other people's opinion. You didn't rely on other people's way in terms of them telling you what needed to be done. You went above and beyond to get to where you needed to be and to feel, and it feels good. And this brings me down to the clarifying card that came out underneath was the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands speaks about victory, but not victory so much being celebrated by other people or having you to be in a spotlight where you are shown recognition. This is simply just recognition and being praised for what you have done for yourself. Again, not needing validation for no one else. You did it all by yourself. And for that in itself is validation. That in itself is victory. And when we talk about abundance, being in that Jupiter energy, the greatest abundance that anyone can have, that any one of us can have, is abundance that we seek within ourselves. Because remember, everything starts from within. So once you put in the work internally, guess what? Then things on the external will begin to fall into place. And then the bottom energy that came out was the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is that for some of you, if you've been putting in the inner work in terms of getting that job, getting that career, maybe just working hard in general, whatever that means for you, it's going to pay off in a big way. So again, I am proud of you, my Fire Signs Collective. Continue putting in the work, continue working on yourself, because you can't go wrong. Because ultimately at the end, you will see the ultimate victory and success. All right, so this is what I got for you guys under this new moon in Sagittarius. So continue to stay positive, be optimistic, and know that good things is coming and a new start for sure. And whatever area that means for you is on the horizon. All right, everyone, until your next reading, I'm wishing all of you a wonderful Wednesday and have a wonderful rest of your week ahead. Stay positive. Bye.